I'm sorry. No police report, no lawsuit, no case. Some T-word crying about some bullshit means nothing. Have you seen pictures of her, by the way? Look at her. She's totally ungrapeable.
The comment that I just read to you was written by the brother of Zion Bittenbender. It is in response to the allegations made against Zion of SA and AICP. This is not a skit. It's not a joke. This is a video about the disgusting comments that Zion, his brother, and his fiancée have made, as well as the immature handling of such a serious matter. Before we start, though, I want to make it clear that this video is not about whether or not the allegations against Zion are true. As you'll see throughout this topic, I hold the stance of innocent until proven guilty. I personally have not seen enough evidence to make a judgment. But if you would like to learn more and make your own judgment, I will leave a link to the Metal Sucks article about the allegations and the evidence that has been put forth. That'll, of course, be in the description. I also have never made like a serious video like this before, going over evidence and such a serious matter. So if at any moment it's a bit sloppy, I'm sorry, I apologize. I really do want to do the best I can, because bringing awareness to such a just disgusting thing is just, really, like, we got to get the garbage out of our community. I'm sure we can all agree with that. But anyway, with that being said, let's begin. So we'll start with the context. So a deathcore band by the name of Vulvadinia announced that they had a new vocalist, and that was Zion Bittenbender. But about a day later, allegations were brought out against Zion. This prompted Vulvadinia to put things on hold with Zion, to send him back home to deal with it. Obviously, the band wanted to sort it out as well with their management and all that. It was a good choice. Things were all good so far. Zion made a statement on his story about, expressing that he has two sisters and he would never do such a thing. Obviously, there's more than that to it. And I personally think that it was a great statement. It was mature, it was responsible, it was well written. So yeah, there was no problem with that. But it's what came after that, I take issue with, and I'm sure many of you will as well. Not long after making the statement, he started ranting about cancel culture. It basically boiled down to, I can't express my opinions without getting cancelled, and the community is so whiny and shit. It was just basically, the translation was, I have opposing views to what the general community I'm trying to make a career in has, and if I speak up about it, then people won't want to support me anymore. And it's like, yeah, no shit, man. Obviously, the part about, what he was saying on his Instagram story and everything, I can't provide proof for, as, once a story is up for a day, it's gone. Like, I can't go back in time and screenshot it. But what I can talk about is what I have screenshotted and actually happened just today. Insert Hunchback. Hunchback is another band that Zion is the vocalist of, and today they posted this.
Vocalist of Hunchback accused of being a sexy motherfucker.
It's just so out of touch and immature. And what makes this especially immature is the fact that the allegations that were made, they haven't been proven wrong. And yes, they haven't necessarily been proven right, but it's still a really serious matter. And while obviously Zion and people close to him know the truth, they know what's happened, especially Zion, the general public doesn't. And so in this moment, Zion and everyone that he is working with should absolutely be handling this situation with care and, of course, maturity. But by posting this, it has completely tarnished their image. It downplays the allegations. It downplays SA. It downplays CP. But it doesn't end there, because as you saw in the beginning of this video, there's some pretty foul comments and messages to go through. These were all directed at me because I had made a comment on the post which made the bassist Zion's fiance, and the band's account to start replying to my comment. I'm going to go through what I can and what I think's important, but I mean, I was sort of chatting to 4 people at the same time. The comment section is a bit messy and there's only so much I can do, but I'm going to do the best I can. First, I want to give a little context before we dive into the comments. The accuser is Zion's ex. I don't know his name. I couldn't find it anywhere, so I will be referring to him as Zion's ex. Zion's ex also happens to be transgender, from female to male. So when I bring up that, the ex is the accuser, and when there's any talk of transgender, that's why. Okay, let's finally get into the comments. So, this begins with Wizard. Wizard was the first person to reply to me. He said, bro, who accused him? There's not even a named accuser. It's a joke. Don't be a retard. Personal insults aside, I replied with, his ex. If you actually looked into it, you'd see that the accuser is his ex, who broke up with him with multiple other people who knew Zion in person backing up the claim. I'm not saying that's proof of it being true, but it sure as hell makes it serious. Wizard then replied with the disgusting comment that was at the beginning. I mean, the idea that he thinks that he is ungrapeable means that he believes that some women are grapeable, which is just, it's just disgusting. That is basically as far as I'm going to take it with Wizard. Pretty much the whole time, he was just throwing ad hominem attacks towards the accuser and just being incredibly immature and making stupid claims and just, there wasn't even really any claims. He was just saying shit like, oh, if I say on the internet that you raped me, does that make it true? And it's like, no, you have to prove it, but that's not what I'm talking about here. This is when Zion replied to me, and this is when I found out that Wizard was Zion's brother. Zion said, he's my literal brother, retard. He knows everything about the accuser and that she is a mentally ill person who doesn't deserve to be taken seriously. Then Zion's fiancée, Sage, chirped up and said, you are the perfect example. People comment without knowing shit about anything and assume they are right. You just proved your own point. If you looked a little deeper, you'd see they were brothers. Now how about you go learn you something and stay the fuck out of the comments acting like you know shit. I'm so sorry, Sage, for not knowing that Wizard was Zion's brother. Because of that, from now on, whenever someone replies to my comment, I'm going to go through Zion's family tree to find out if they're related to Zion at all. You're an idiot, Sage. You're acting as if I'm supposed to know every single family member of Zion. Where is that on Google? It's not in Zion's profile. It's not on Wizard's profile. Shut up. Here is my response to Zion and Sage. First, I replied to Zion. He said, that's cool, man, but just saying she's mentally ill is no more than an ad hominem, not an argument to prove innocence. Obviously, you know the truth, but that doesn't mean that you are without a doubt speaking it. Then I replied to Sage. I said, me not knowing they are brothers has nothing to do with the case. He said there was no named accuser, and so I responded with a correction of the fact that yes, there is a named accuser, that being his ex. Zion then replied with, I am innocent because there is nothing on me. Learn how the law works. I then replied with, yes, you are innocent until proven guilty, of course, but you haven't actually done anything to prove you are innocent. All you've done is complain about cancel culture and said, I have a sister, and that is the problem. You may be innocent until proven guilty in the law, but to public eye and socially, you are neither innocent or guilty, something that you should handle with care and maturity, as it's serious. Zion then says some cope about, that he doesn't have to prove he's innocent, and he doesn't care about the public eye. If everyone hated him, it doesn't matter to him, which is just, when you announce you are the vocalist of Virginia, you were literally in a video saying how happy you were and how this is such a big dream for you to be in a big band and play in front of big crowds and all that. Why all of a sudden are you like, oh, I don't actually care, if I go anywhere. I don't care about the public thinks about me. I'm just here to make music. You're very clearly coping. Sage then says, yes, it does, because it's false, and people like you who instantly see SA allegations automatically think they are true. Have you not clicked yet that I'm not saying that they're true? I'm taking a stance of on the fence. It's neither proven innocent or guilty. Like, how have you not understood that yet? And then here we go. She says, but people always want to believe the woman, especially in this community. As someone who met the both of them while they were together and witnessed the shit firsthand, the chick is crazy. How the fuck do you prove innocence to something that's never happened? If anything, where's the ex's proof? Anyone can write in a notes app about something and claim it to be true, and because it's a woman, they always side with her. Yes, Sage, there are people who instantly believe the victim, and that's obviously a problem. The world should work innocent until proven guilty, but unfortunately, it's not how it works. And this whole sexist argument of like, oh, because it's a woman, people are believing her. Like, yeah, sure, some people might do that, but it's not everyone. It's not the majority. Then, of course, you're talking about how you've seen it and she's crazy. Again, these are things that, they're just claims. They're just baseless claims. It's not doing anything for the public eye. They don't know the accuser. They don't know the ex. They don't know them. So just saying that they're crazy, it doesn't do anything. And how does he prove that he's innocent of something that didn't even happen? Well, I'll tell you, Sage. First off, he could make a video, like I'm doing right now, going through the evidence that the accuser has put forth. He could give context to messages and could share his own side of the story. Sure, in the end, it'll just be him saying, this is what happened, and it would become he said, she said, but at least this would share his side of the story, and people would be more inclined to be on the fence about innocent until proven guilty, rather than hearing one side of the story and only being able to make their judgment off that. But again, this is not what I'm talking about. I am not talking about whether the allegations that were made are true or false. This whole time I've been criticizing the response made by Zion and everyone involved. That is it. You also say that it's not serious, it's all a joke, all of it. And yeah, it is serious. It's allegations of SA and making AICP. That's pretty serious. Okay, that's pretty much all I need to go into for the comments, as the rest is basically just more baseless claims, ad hominems, and yeah, just repeating messages. But this is where the next chapter comes in. Sage had brought something to my attention, and that was that Zion's ex was actually performing topless in front of minors. This obviously intrigued me, and I wanted to know the context and everything. So I told her that my DMs were open and that I would love to see proof. I'm not going to go into that situation too much, as it's not really important to the case and what I'm talking about. But basically, because Zion's ex is trans, what he does at live shows is have his top off with his tits out, and these aren't 18 plus shows, and while normally, yes, that's extremely fucking weird and shouldn't be allowed, I can understand that this is simply a freedom of speech and expression about his trans identity, and that his tits are really no more than pecs. I'm not going to say where they are exactly, but in their location, that is not inherently legal, but it can be justified in court. So really, it's a massive gray area, and although I personally don't agree with it, because, I mean, you are still showing your tits to minors, I can understand that it is freedom of speech, it's expression, and, if it holds up in the court, then it holds up in the court. But that's all I'm going to go into that, because, again, it's not important to the case and is merely just a ad hominem. What I am going to go into, though, is in our conversation, to say it's pretty disgusting that Sage would say such things is an understatement. Sage says that she is a rape victim, and I sympathize with her. Obviously, it's a horrible thing. No one should go through that. I'm not at all going to downplay that. But she uses this as a justification to say that rape victims need to grow up and move on. It took a while to get this answer out of her because she kept on beating around the bush and dodging the question, but this is how it went. Basically, I was asking her if allegations of SA and making AI CP is a serious matter. And this wasn't directed towards Zion's case. I was just talking about in general. If anyone is accused of this, is it a serious matter? So eventually she did answer. She said, "I simply do not care. Not my problem." I then asked again, "So you don't think it's serious?" And she said, "I couldn't care less." I said, "So you think it's just an oopsie daisy, my bad thing? Not serious at all." She then said, "I never took it seriously personally when it happened to me. So yeah, shit happens, grow up and move on." Yep, that's right, grape victims. When you get graped, you should grow up and move on, because it's not that serious. It's just grape. It's just grape. Just move on. Like, just move on. Just grow up. Jesus. I then confirmed this answer with her by asking her directly, "So grape victims should just grow up and move on?" And she said, "I did." So, basically, Sage thinks that grape is not serious and people who are victims of it should grow up and move on. And that also someone making AI CP is not a big deal either. Why should anyone care about it? Why should she care about it? This is where I'm going to end it. While Zion doesn't have control over what Sage and Wizard say, he's not doing anything to get them to stop. When Wizard said, "Look at her, she's ungrapeable," Zion made no reply. He made no effort to say, "Hey man, that's pretty messed up, don't say that." He was allowing it. These are, again, people that he is directly connected to. These are family. This is his fiancée. And if Zion wants to allow shit like this being said, and he's marrying a woman that says shit like this, I mean, obviously, it just says a lot about his character. I do not think that these people should be supported. I mean, they are utter garbage. And I can only hope that bands will not collab with them, they will not support them, they will not bring them on tour, because if they do, well, why? Why would you want people like that directly connected to you? But yeah, that's it. If you watched this entire thing, thank you for watching. Obviously, this means a lot to me. It's a very serious topic, and I'm obviously very unhappy about it all. So for you to support me by watching it all, it's awesome. Thank you. I also should say, don't go to these people. Do not spread hate. Do not threaten them. Do not attack them. I don't want you to. If you do that, I hate you. Don't do that. Okay? It only makes things worse. You can share your disdain for them in the comments or whatever, but please do not personally attack them. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching. See ya.